Good morning. Nice breakfast, right? Yeah. It's really wonderful to be here. I was surprised to know it's the 39th edition of Creative Mornings in Bangalore. Sometimes you live in a city for many years, don't know what's happening right under your nose, right? So that's how many of those flyovers and things got built right under our nose. Thousands of trees got cut before we realized what was happening. So my name is Srinivas. I'm like any one of you. It's an interesting sequence of events which those of us really good in English use fancy words like serendipity to describe. This is what brings me here. I'll try to talk about what happened and how things kind of moved in a direction. And because I met Karishma and her team earlier, I figured out that these guys are very young, active, and want to do something. You know, I'm assuming that all of you are in the same mold. That's why you are actually here on a Sunday morning. So I'm going to hijack this opportunity to try to get you onto doing some things for the city. We'll see how that goes. I thought I'll walk you through some of the things that happened in the last few months in this city. The biggest serendipity is that all these things happened in this very building. I'll walk you through some of that. And the thing that you should know is that I'm a working professional. I work for a software company like many others here do. I do have a full-time job and all the things that we need to do. And like everyone else, I also want to do something beyond that, right? And I've been trying to do this for many years. And 2009, there was a guy in Bangalore that was very famous in the news every single day. He was in the news for fighting the corrupt. Santosh Hegde. Yes, you guys heard of Santosh Hegde? What was he doing? What was his role? Lokayukta. He's so good at his job, but he didn't have enough powers to actually make a change. He is a rock star of Bangalore, especially people that read news and care about corruption, all of that, right? Everybody knew who he was. He put a chief minister out of job. Remember this? The same guy who was threatening to now become chief minister again, but that's another story. Now, we thought with other friends that this is a time to do a citizen movement, a public campaign to give more powers to Lokayukta, right? If all of us give powers, Lokayukta, incidentally, Karnataka is one of the best states in the country for many of these reforms. We got the Panchayat Raj reform, we got the decentralized, similarly we got the Lokayukta reform. It happened during the Ramakrishna Hegde time. Even till today we don't have Lokpal and Lokayukta in many states. But Karnataka had one. M.N. Venkatachala was there as Lokayukta and all of that. So despite having Lokayukta and anti-corruption agency doesn't have teeth. So why don't we do the campaign to get support for him? So demand is clear. Remove section 17 from Prevention of Corruption Act. Support Santosh Hegde. It's not about individual, it's about the institution. Okay, why I'm saying all this is there's so much of energy and interest and respect for this man, and everybody seemed to like him and want that post to have power, and people were all concerned about corruption, all of that. When we did the walk, those days they used to give permission. MS building is where his office used to be. It still is, Lokayukta office, next to Vidhan Saudha. We did a walk from there to, I don't know, MG Road, right? Through all of that Hudson Circle, everything. When I went there at 9 a.m. on a Sunday like this, it was me, my son, my daughter and one reporter. Nobody else was there at the announced time, right? And slowly, surely we got to about 25 people, gathered whoever else is selling tea over there and walking, morning walk, whatever. The point I'm trying to make is it's very, very difficult to get people to act, to get people to join hands to do something. They will support you fully on Facebook. They will retweet till their fingers hurt on Twitter. But to go there on a Sunday morning, that's, depends on what happens Saturday night, right? So this is my background, right? That is 2009. And there have been child molestations, there have been so many things that happened. Tara is sitting here, she has been a partner with me and doing many things, many years. Many times we would go there to town hall, there'll be like a lot of reporters and cameras and like four people there and placards and that's it, right? And the day before we would have gone to Surana College or some NMKRV and all the students there, yes, you guys are doing great job, we'll be there tomorrow. Nah, right? Doesn't work. But the lesson that I learned from doing all of that is that you need something beyond the regular inspiring thing to get people to act. It's not easy to get so many people together on a Sunday morning for anything. So let's talk about the steel flyover here. On June 27th, 28th morning in the papers, I saw a news called there's a flyover being built, proposed between Chalukya Circle to Hudson Hebbar, right? Before that, I was fighting for bus fares. I was fighting for something called Nammarailu, little campaigns. Nothing was happening. For years we were doing that. Nothing was happening. Suddenly we see this whole thing about this. So I got so mad, I created the ugliest possible poster you can imagine, this on PowerPoint, and most of you are creative people, so please don't vomit. I created that petition on change.org and labeled it VIP flyover, right? Nobody called it VIP. People called it steel flyover, whatever, but I called it VIP flyover. Why? Because the statement irked me so much that we can get to airport 7 minutes faster. I mean, who goes to the airport? There's 1.2 crore people in this city. 50,000 people go to the airport. You want to spend 1,300 crores for that? What kind of logic is that, right? I go to the airport. I am capable of buying an air ticket and going there. But I don't want 1,300 crores of my money to go into that. So I created this. And the reason I did it like this is because I knew every single person hates traffic. If there's anything people unite in Bangalore, whether you are a Bhakt or AAP or Congress or anything, you are a Carnatic music lover or a filter coffee guy or a burger person, you will all hate traffic, right? So non-stop conversations around traffic. So let's put this in perspective of traffic. How do you actually solve traffic problem? So this is the thing that I put up. As you can see, you could do this. People want all this, but government wants this. Look at the irony of that, right? That's the message I'm trying to convey. Of course, I wrote some Mahabharata below that, but this is it, right? It's also serendipity that much later on, when I was writing this, my goal is to create awareness of stopping that flyover, right? Later on, as events transpired, every single bullet that I put up there turned into a public campaign. I don't know if you call that serendipity or not, but I do. When I did that, 1st July, remember this is 28th June, 3 days. Within first day, so many people have shared it and media picked it up, whatever. It's cancelled. It's a miracle, right? 28th you start a petition, 1st July it's done. This is all one-man show at this point, right? There's hardly my friends that are supporting online. Nobody has stepped onto the street, nothing happened. But we got news that the thing got cancelled. Bangalore flyover put on hold. That's the thing. So I thanked everybody who signed the petition. Only to figure out that happened because we had to wait for another day. Stop the VIP flyover again. It came back. What happened behind the scenes is a certain minister was out of action for corruption charges and certain mysterious death of some people. And the minister found his way back because the investigating agency gave him a clean chit. So he became a minister again. And therefore we get the steel flyover again. So we were fooled that it is gone, but it's not gone. Now my update to my loyal followers on the change.petition, eternal vigilance, blah, blah, blah. We cannot rest easy. And you can see that I'm angry after electing the politicians that we did, right? Then this happened. Can anyone guess where this is? 1 floor below, 9 or 10 people. This is the first meeting. This meeting has come up with the word Beda and that we will do a human chain, right? Prakash has supported my petition and being an old-time Bangalorean, many other people have connected with him, and through the petition, people that I have never met in my life started calling me and said, how can we get more signatures to your petition? Their goal was to get my petition to have more signatures. I told them the signatures thing I just created to, get the conversation started, but nothing will happen. I am sufficiently cynical. I am very optimistic person, also cynical. So nothing is going to happen until and unless something big happens. So in this meeting, the big decision was made that people power has to come out to the streets. Only then we have a hope, right? So what happened next? I guess the famously the rest is history, but this is 14th October, and you can see the little picture. This is a creation of Shashank, and throughout the campaign we had this art playing a big role. And this is another thing I wanted to highlight in this conversation with all of you. Without art, without creativity, this movement would not be where it is today. And you can see that. Now I am no longer making those ugly PowerPoint things, but Shashank is. He's making those beautiful things. This is one of 100 things he did. He did 100 such things. Every day we'd have 5 hours. And this guy is sitting in Idaho. He's a Bangalore boy. We know him for a very long time. I asked him to start doing this stuff, and he loves Bangalore as much as all of us do. And all night, his US night, our day, he would do that. We are on Facebook, chatting, WhatsApp. He would create all these things. I'll give him the concept, he will do something, he'll do better than what I asked him. After a while, he got addicted to it, so kept doing more and more of these things. 2 days before the big human chain, we've done, this particular room has been divided into, there was a humongous map of the steel flyover here. Naresh would put that along that side. This side, that is Mekri Circle, this is Kaveri, this is BDA, and that is Chalukya. So we had teams working on it in this very hall leading up to that event. So we knew that on Facebook we were going crazy. Thousands of people are supporting, sharing, wanting to do all this. But thanks to my experience with Justice Hegde and various other things, I knew that if 100 people say yes, 20 people may wake up that day and 10 people may actually find their way there, right? That risk is heavily on my head. So what we did, working as a team with everyone, we created WhatsApp groups where you not only say yes on social media, but you join a WhatsApp group of where you're going to stand. You're going to stand near Kaveri Junction, join the WhatsApp group. You're going to stand near Mekri, join the WhatsApp group. Mekri group has 10 admins that are adding people left, right, and center. Anybody who will say, I'm coming, will say, join the WhatsApp group. So that is a commitment to actually come there. So we are trying to increase the commitment level of people in all of that. Can online activism translate? Maybe, maybe not. But we don't need to wait too long. And then this happened. It looked like everybody was a human chain. We were actually a little late. The road got blocked, so we had to go this way, that way. 7:45 we were entering Chalukya, right? We can't see anything. There was a sea of people, hundreds and thousands of people. And all I can think of is Santosh Hegde in 2009. Me and that reporter sitting there. So this happened. Then what happened? We attracted global attention for this, right? I'm not exaggerating here. Everybody reported on it. Everybody knew about this. Because never in urban India, 8,000 people came on the street for an infrastructure project. Infrastructure project. It's as impersonal, right? It's steel, it's concrete, it's flyover, it's road. When do people come for these kind of things? They don't, unfortunately. They should, but they don't. So this happened. This is a miracle. Yet, we were told that this is just a selfie crowd. They came, formed the human chain, took selfies, game over. We go do our flyover, they go home, right? So we needed to keep the pressure on. And please pay attention to the word. The word pressure works on politicians like it works on anybody else, right? You need to keep that pressure on with so much weight on it that they will act. This is the biggest lesson that we have learned. And this is the one main reason why this is successful and other things have not been successful. We lost so many trees in the city for metro, this, that, so many things. But the pressure, adequate pressure was not put. But here, because everyone involved in this were already veterans of these failures and whatever happened before, we knew that we had to put a ton of bricks on top of this thing. So we did that. We did a satyagraha. Who does satyagraha for a flyover? We did. And it's an all-day satyagraha. 8 to 5 p.m. fasting. Now, when we proposed this, there were a lot of, eyebrows raised. Can we pull this off? Will there be anybody there? Even if they come, will they stay? Will they leave after some time? Okay, let's bring Vasu Dikshit in. Let's bring musicians. Let's make it into a thing. We did all of that. Let's do an art installation. You won't believe it, when Vasu was swinging Ye Bhumi Swarga, there was probably 1,000 people in that Freedom Park that afternoon. And they were sitting there from 10 to 6 in the evening. Again, this conveyed that we kept saying that unless and until we keep pushing pressure, this is not going to work. And there's a very simple old style way of putting pressure on your elected representatives. Call them. Why not? They are our representatives in the government, right? How do they know what you want? Because so many people are telling them and saying, I want this, I want that, I want a transfer, I want a commission, I want a contract, I want my son married. So many people go to politicians telling them so many things. But we, the people, the honest taxpayers, don't tell them what we want. We don't. We think they should understand that. Because it's all good, right? They should already know what we're talking about. But they don't. So why not call them up? How do you call them up? Will they answer my phone? Like hell they will. Why not? That's the fundamental problem that we have. Because we think politicians are dirty, they're corrupt, I'm going to stay away from them. Not going to work. Either you try to get the right people elected, or you work with the people that are already there. Agreed? You got to work with them. That's it. How do you work with them? Meet them, talk to them. We did all that. So then the unthinkable happened. I will skip through this because you already know. It's so big that people in Rajasthan are writing about it. People in BBC, in Guardian, whoever has written about it. So we built a public movement, and the biggest gift that Bangalore has got in a long time, other than the monsoon that's going to come and the beautiful weather we already have, is the steel flyover. It's a gift, really, gift from the gods. If we didn't have steel flyover, so many people would not have come together. And that entire thing has been created that we must stay united and fight against this steel monster. And only then we can put pressure on the system. And when that happened, as the volunteers started growing, the clamor started growing. What next? What should we do next? We cannot stop it. While this going on, the steel flyover is still on. There's an NGT going on. We don't know whether it is dead or alive, or it will be dead or whatnot, right? So we need to keep the momentum going. So I'm not describing everything that happened, but this is what happened. The single biggest reason for the traffic problems in Bangalore is a lack of public transport. Mumbai, we all know, is a much bigger city than Bangalore. Yes? How come Mumbai has less number of vehicles than Bangalore? Why? Should be a doubt in everyone's mind, right? Why? Because of this. Local trains, they carry 75 lakh people. Whereas here, none. Creativity. Can you guess what's happening there? Freeze mob. I mean, you want a train and you are on MG Road and you're doing a freeze mob. Why? We are trying to change the narrative. We are trying to make train cool and hot and people understand what it is. The group opposing the steel flyover has gone from Beda to Beku. We have moved from Beda to Beku. The Beda was never actually about Beda. The Beda was always about Beku, about what we want. It's fundamentally Bengaluru Beku. Aste. Hale Bengaluru Beku. We want that great Bangalore back. And we have to say Beda because you are shoving this steel monster down our throat. And that's one Kannada word now, wherever you came to Bangalore from, everybody understands. And this movement has something to do with it also. And with every future movement that we are doing, we are introducing new words to everybody. So this is another example of creativity coming into play. You tell people, oh, you need train is not working, that's one thing. But did you know these are all the railway stations in Bangalore? Did you know that? Okay, you knew that. But did you ever think why I cannot go from Malleshwaram to Carmel Ram? Why I cannot go from Kengeri to Whitefield? Why do I need to suffer through 30 kilometers of traffic, whether it is bus or two-wheeler or car? Why can't I take a train? This is what people in Mumbai do, Chennai do, Kolkata do, Lucknow do. Why not Bangalore? What's the problem? For 33 years this project has been stuck. So just like the human chain, we now did a train chain. It's called a rail yatra. Any of you been part of that? Rail yatra? No, this is good. This is perfect audience to get more volunteers. So we did that. Cantonment, you get on a train anywhere, you form a human chain on the platform, wait for the train, get on the train. Okay, will people come? That time there was steel flyover, blah, blah, blah happening. Why will people come here? Well, people come if you communicate, if you message it to them, if you do stuff like that. If you go to colleges and do that. If you go to Mount Carmel, Tara addressed some 1500 students in Mount Carmel about this campaign. Guess what? In that Bangalore East station was taken over by them. 500 Mount Carmel students were standing there. We also gave them something to cheer about. Raghu Dikshit showed up in the train. So I was standing next to him as the train went into Bangalore East. There's nothing I could hear. I never saw hero worship or whatever you call celebrity thing up close and personal like that. But he was right there and they were all right there. We have 198 corporators in this city. Corporators are our most immediate public representatives, right? You belong to a ward belongs to corporation, each ward has a corporator, you are a voter of the ward. How do you get a corporator to participate in this? The corporators have no clue that this rail network exists. They didn't have an idea. So we started calling them up and asked them to write a letter to Suresh Prabhu. The mayor, commissioner, chief minister don't take corporators seriously. They think they are useless garbage contractors, water tanker mafia guys, who cares? But no, we want them to represent us. So we went after every one of them. Sir, we need you to support suburban train. We need you to support Chukbuk Beku. We need you to come do this. They all wrote letters. They are proud and happy and thrilled that we asked them for support. And some of them said, what will I do? We are writing a letter to Suresh. What have you got to lose? Have you anything to lose? We are your residents. We are asking you to get a train for us. Write a letter. If it comes, take credit. In the next election, say I fought for the train. Good, right? So this is the other theme that I want the public movements to think about. The politicians always get a very bad rap, as if they are villains, they are bad people, they corrupt, they couldn't care less about what happens. All farthest from the truth. The politicians want the good things in the city as much as any of us do. I'm saying it seriously, and there's no joke after this. They do. They also want some other things, right? That's fine. You also want other things, they also want other things. The system is such that. The point is, the politicians also want green Bangalore. They also want traffic problem to be gone. Is there any politician that says, I want the traffic problem like this? No, they don't, right? So how do you find the points of convergence and try to work with them and get them to do the right thing for you? If you're always saying no, protest, Beda, Dharna, you're like, okay dude, go do your thing. You shout for a while, you have other things to do. We are in this for a long haul. So you come, you go, we are continuing to do this, right? So we need to find a path of least resistance to get the right things done. You need to build your public campaigns in a way that the people, public and politicians all find a reason to support it and do the right thing. Today you go to your home, you see some problem in front of your house, okay, maybe the road is cut. You gather 5 people who are affected by that. All 5 of you go to your corporator's house and tell them, sir, we have a problem here. If it doesn't get solved within 48 hours, you call me. Politicians react and respond like that when they see numbers, when they see people coming together. When they see that you are not asking a personal favor, but you are asking for larger public good. Okay? They most likely and almost certainly will address that. The problem may not be fixed within 48 hours, but he'll act on it. In front of you, he'll call the engineer and tell you. Right? So these things happen, we just don't leverage them. So we are all sitting there brainstorming how to do this suburban train campaign. And it came out that we will do this train yatra, all this stuff. and we'll call it Chukbuk Beku. The next thing, we have some 60 volunteers here. They all started doing a train Chukchuku and started running around this whole thing. If you go back to our Facebook group, you will find videos of people doing the train in this very hall where you are sitting. And that's how we started creating the momentum for that. This is not a collage of pictures. This is the entire Times of India or Bangalore Times paper. One whole broad sheet. One whole sheet given for one campaign. I am a newspaper observer for 35 years, or whenever I can remember I started reading paper. Never I have seen something other than when Indira Gandhi died or something else happened, Mangalyaan happened, you don't see so much coverage given to one thing. Why is that? Because the power of people is such that the media can sense it, can feel it. When they come there, they see it. When the reporter is on the train with the camera and they see 200 people standing on the platform, he or she gets that energy transferred, because after all, the journalists are also Bangaloreans. They also want to do the right things. We just met the India Today reporter there. He is saying, I haven't seen you in a long time, but nothing like covering civic issues, sir. We do all this political stuff, but when I come and do the civic thing, I feel like I'm doing my job properly. Right? They feel that. What happens next? You get that. When you get the attention of media, public at large, the most powerful political leader, the head of the state, will stop, get down from his car and come and talk to you. Because Suresh Prabhu was coming, we did a very, very clever placement of doing the sloganeering right in front of their faces, caught their attention, Chukbuk Beku, so much that the union ministers started saying, Chukbuk Beku, Namge Beku. So when we were standing there, he saw all that and he came by. And he said, you know what he said? Now we are giving green signal to this project. 300 crores will be allocated. Can you please go fight with the central railway minister to get this going? The chief minister, the elected chief minister, is telling volunteers, ordinary people like us, I heard you, I did what you asked for, now can you go do trouble that guy? Let's get this done. He is seeking our intervention to go make it happen. And serendipity again, right? That's Rajiv Gowda. He has been fighting for this train for a long time. When we did this public campaign, it gave voice to him inside the Congress party circles to make it a bigger issue. He called us so that we can give the letter to Suresh Prabhu. He introduced us to Suresh Prabhu, Rajiv Gowda. And this man, anyone knows who this man is? In the left, Dinesh Gundura. He is the president of KPCC, Karnataka Congress. He is also MLA in the city. Very young, very dynamic. Because we met him, he came and talked to us. Later we got to talk to him about bus. He is a big supporter of our bus campaign. Again, serendipity, right? Somewhere we were doing steel flyover, then we went on to train, then we met this guy. Now this guy said, okay, you come and talk to me. Okay, you asked me to come and talk to you, we'll come and talk to you. We're not going to leave you there. Now he's been championing the bus fare reduction in the city. Right? He's our supporter. Anytime we want, we can go and meet him. And the media acknowledge, you please see this part. Amid chants of Chukbuk Beku by members of CFB, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah signed a memorandum of understanding. That is a clear cause and effect. You go fight for something, show people power, good things will happen. Proven? Do you believe that this can be done? It has been done, right? The trains are not running now, it will take some time to run, but it's heading in the right direction, right? Finally gets on track. Look at the media. Cabinet clears. On December 17th, we did the human chain, that thing, the train yatra. Jan 16th, 1 month, MOU signed. Has MOU been in the works for a while? Yes, for 30 years. It has been in the work for 30 years. Why did it happen on January then? Because something happened in December. So we can't be stopped at this point. We did the flyover, we did the train. We always said these flyovers and all these things are not needed because what we really need is public transport. And the biggest public transport, that is only public transport in the city today, is the bus. Half of the city takes the bus. 50 lakh people take the bus. Okay? 6,000 buses, 50 lakh passengers. If the bus guys go on strike, you know what will happen? Hell will break loose. You know what else will happen? You may die sooner than later. Why? Pollution levels go up by 20%. 3 days BMTC went on strike, pollution levels went up by 18 to 20%. Why? Can you guess? Private vehicles come up. In one office building in Outer Ring Road, they use chartered BMTC buses. That one day they clocked 7,000 private vehicles that were not coming the previous day. 7,000. So it's a myth that people think a lot of people don't take bus. They do take bus. They don't advertise it or talk about it as much, but bus is really saving our city. So we want to do the bus campaign. Again, creativity comes into picture. This is Deepthi, I think. We want to convey that the bus is the lifeline of Bangalore, right? If there is no bus, all those things that I said happen. So bus is really the lifeline of Bangalore. I truly, honestly believe that. Data proves that. So that says Namma Bangalorina Jiva Dhatu. That's the lifeline of Bangalore. In other words, if you have more buses, there will be less traffic. And if the buses can go faster than your private vehicle, it will be even better. So, same story again. This time let's do a bus campaign. Let's get on the bus, create awareness. She is 8 years old and came on this. We did a budget Janara Goshti. Every year budget comes and goes, and we all read the news about budget, right? Do you ever think of giving inputs to the budget? So we created a budget Goshti, a discussion on budget, where people from all sections of society came and talked about what they want to see in the budget for bus. Only for bus. This year you should do this for the bus. And then this probably is the heights of creativity and wanting to create an impact and understanding. Every day all of us struggle to traffic, pollution. Parents are concerned about safety and kids going out on the streets, traffic, how much productivity is lost in traffic. Bangalore is losing business because somebody is sitting in San Francisco and saying, Bangalore is nice, but now it's kind of peaked out, we should look elsewhere, right? These are common conversations. And it's a pain. People are trying to set up their offices near Hebbal or wherever, so to avoid coming into the city. Why are our elected representatives not screaming and yelling and debating in the assembly talking about Bangalore traffic? How to put Bangalore back on track? How to make Bangalore breathe again? How to make Bangalore garden city again? How to get rid of the garbage? How to get our water back? How to get our gardens back? Where is the discussion? There are 28 MLAs. What bills are they passing? In Minnesota, a small town in Central America, they had to increase the budget. They had some less tax revenue. So they run a city bus service, subsidized bus service. Throughout the world, bus service is subsidized, except in Bangalore. Throughout in world, bus service is subsidized. Why? Because they want to promote bus. They had to increase the bus fares by 10 cents, 10 paisa. Okay? Every ticket, 10 paisa increase. So you know what happened? In the city council, the equivalent of BBMP, there's been a huge debate. Should we increase the 10 cents because we have less tax revenues this year? If we do that, what will be the pros and cons of that? If we increase by 10 cents, the ridership will decrease. Maybe less people will take the bus and pollution levels will increase. That means people will get sick and then they go to government hospital and there's the cost of health, public health, right? So I did all that, 3 days of debate and discussion, and figured out that they will close the library 1 hour before the usual time. If it closes at 9 p.m., we'll close at 8 p.m. Cut the cost of electricity and the wages of the people that work there, so we can keep the 10 paisa subsidy there. Mature democracy? Yes? That's the way things should be done, right? You need to make a decision, for the right decision for the people, debate, discuss, do that. Why it doesn't happen here? So we said, we'll do a mock assembly, we'll do a model assembly. So that's our chief minister, that's our speaker. These are model MLAs raising real issues in a real model assembly, right? Why we did all this? To elevate the narrative, to change the discussion, to make more people connect to this concept, wanting to be part of it. Not yet another thing where I'm going and sitting in a dharna, shouting and getting frustrated and taking a selfie and going home and claiming that I've done some my duty for the city. No, let's push the bar. Let's change the narrative so more people can get on this job. Fierce discussions between Bangalore Development Minister on the left and the Chief Minister and these MLAs happened. Traffic tops the list of concerns. The real question is, in the real assembly, why is traffic not topping the concern? Why is there no special assembly session called for Bangalore traffic? Why should we call it in RBNMS college? Right? The 28 MLAs belonging to different parties, they all should come together for the sake of city. The moment you are elected, you are part of the government. You are not this party or that party. In our culture, political culture that prevails today, if you are elected and your government is, your party is ruling, you don't open your mouth. You just accept everything that they do. If you are opposition party, you oppose everything they do. Wait for your turn. Right? Remember Aadhaar, all these things that happened during Congress rule, and now everybody supports Aadhaar, everybody supports GST, all these things. This is a problem we have. But what we need to do is, whichever party you belong to, you need to represent the people that you are representing. And they will only represent when we tell them that this is what we want. Right? So this is the creation with. And please see the background of this. Entirely recycled material, waste papers, gunny bags created. One of our volunteers who's an architect, she has made this. So the point I'm trying to make is that when people come together, it's a pressure that the politicians feel, and we have to find a way to express ourselves in where the ordinary citizens, those of us that are here and that are not here, will find it compelling enough to participate. You know, when I go to my office, people say, great job, I saw you in the paper, I saw you on TV, something, you know, whatever. I'll say, you know, I'm, thank you, but, you know, it's really, you should come next time. And they say, but what will I, so far and all of this. So I remind them that it is not something that I am doing for myself. I am actually doing it for all of us. And if everyone thinks like him, then we can't push the agenda. So this kind of gets some people going, you know, wanting to be participant. Why numbers are important, right? Think of it like this. There is very little damage you can do to the existing political system. It is so well set, the models of corruption, the power you know, equations, the bureaucracy and the businessmen and the elected leaders, the whole nexus or vicious circle is firmly established. You can scream till the cows come home, but the garbage situation will not break because there is a money to be made in transporting garbage. So there will always be garbage mounds there, and they will always be dumping far away because there is money to be made in transporting the garbage. If you produce less garbage, what will they transport? So that won't work. So the vested interests are always there. So to break all these things, the only thing that we can think of is to create a pressure so big that it cannot be ignored, and they feel that it's going to hurt them politically. When the steel flyover got cancelled, I wanted to put that up, I couldn't find it last night. The Chief Minister said one simple thing that was music to our ears. He said, if people don't want it, we won't build it. People don't want flyover, we won't build it. Matter of fact, simple, right? So now complementary statement or reverse statement, if people want it, we will do it. Correct? People want suburban train, we will do it. If people want more buses, we will give more buses. If people want to make all this pedestrian only, Church Street, MG Road, CBD, we'll make it. The point I'm trying to make is all these things that we want, we can get. There is proof. Sufficient proof? Yes? Or this whole thing is figment of my imagination. I tried to put some dates and actual newspaper images so you believe me. So this happened, and it gives us hope that a lot more can happen. Look at this. Have you seen this? It's been passed around. I can tell you that this one poster is worth 1,000 people coming to that human chain. It is. There's another video that was made, a drone going on top of the steel flyover along the trees, the most beautiful trees. You remember that? That thing has got some 300,000 views, worth another 1,000 people coming to the human chain. The power to move people is squarely in the hands of people that are creative and that can inspire people. There is a narrative that we need to build. There is a success story, there is a belief that we need to create, that when people come together in a non-violent way, in a way there is no membership. You don't have a badge. You don't say I am CFB, therefore I oppose Siddaramaiah. No, this morning we went and supported the BBMP initiative. We are completely neutral, apolitical, wanting to do the right things for the city, and we don't ever want to be an expert group giving gap. We want to be a public pressure group where we show up in numbers on the ground. We don't believe in Facebook activism, while we have enormous respect for WhatsApp and Facebook and Telegram and all these things, because that's how we organize and communicate within each other. But the only way we'll be successful is when we are out there doing that freeze mob, getting on the train, doing the bus, doing the human chain. We did so many other things. For the lack of time I didn't put up. We involved children for the steel flyover. There are so many people fighting for so many things. Then why are we still fighting? How long we keep on fighting? We need to increase the volume somewhere, don't you think? We need to really increase the volume. That happened with steel flyover. How? How did that happen? Because it touched the nerve of everybody. Whether you are from Ahmedabad living in Bangalore for 3 months, or whether you're born and brought up in Vasant Nagar, you feel for this city. You love this city, especially that part has such a impression on you that you can't imagine they want to cut 800 trees there. You can't imagine this ugly thing called steel flyover. So many people have said, please take that money and don't build it. Take that money. I got so many messages like that. Sir, is there any way we can pool money and give them that money? If frustration levels are so high and everybody wants the right things done, then what are we waiting for? Let's get together in a way that actually makes a difference. So I want to welcome all of you to be part of Citizens for Bengaluru. We are on Facebook, we are on Telegram. We have meetings every Wednesdays or Saturdays, depending on what we are doing. And then we usually meet here or down the street in Ashirwad, or now in that church near the Bishop Cotton School. This is where our meetings happen, in the center of the city. It's a group thinking that always has to work. So thank you so much for your patience, and thank you to the Creative Mornings folks for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on this. Really appreciate you being patient with my long talk on this.